Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me again and welcome to my post. Today I am going to talk about books again. As I have always been saying that this post is about basic writing, especially for new and aspiring writer. So if you are a veteran and experienced writer, it might not be useful or interesting for you. Anyway, I am just trying to share some of my own experience on the public book publishing industry. So today I am going to talk about three ways to find a publisher for your book. So you have written a book. You put all your heart, time, energy, everything into it. Now you want it to be see the light of the day and people to everybody to read it because without publication whatever you wrote is only for you, nobody will know about it. But as I have said before, there are three types of publishing that you have to decide which one is best for you. First is the self publishing, the vanity, and the traditional. And today I am of course talking about the traditional, the old way of publishing books, because this way, if it is done rightly and the publisher is willing to invest more on you, if they believe in you and do all the promotion, they are also very experienced ones, so it gets more exposure all at the same time because they have all this distribution system already in place, so they distribute all these books to all the bookstore all over the country or world, so it's much easier and faster for them. Therefore, today I'm going to show three ways to find a traditional, the old way publishing. First of all is of course to find an agent. That finding an agent is very difficult because they receive hundred of submission, maybe one book in 100 submission they will select. Therefore it's really difficult, but the good point is all you need is just one chance. So if you get a good agent, it will be a lot easier for you because they can uh, bring your book through a right publisher and do a justice for your work. But of course, they have to believe in it. So, in order to approach a agent, there are of course many ways, but this day is quite easy because of the internet. You just have to go to the internet and list the 10 best agent of the certain country that you want to approach, publish. Find those agents, and they're mostly open all the time, as they are always looking for the best book, the next bestseller, and then the next best-selling author. So they're always open, but before submit so before submitting to an agent, you must is no certain rules. For example, the best way to find that rule is you have to go to that agent's website and check their submission guideline. It says submission guidelines. They particularly show what they want and what they don't want you to do. So you have to follow strictly what is required, what is said in that website. So normally the agent they wants a covering letter. Another one is called the lift elevator pitch. That means you have to describe your book in a very in a one sentence, in one sentence. So it has to be very catchy like that. Then they want a sample chapter, mostly first three sample chapter, and your biography. They also want whether you are active on social media. Also, do you also they also want to know whether you are good at giving interview, public speeches, or whether you have all these experiences or not, and how many followers you have in social media, and all these things. Because and not all of them accept the full manuscript at the same time at the beginning. So you have to follow their rule very carefully in their website before submitting your submission. Um, Only then, and this agent they are so busy that it takes 2, 3, 4 months, some even yeah at least 4 months. Some of them, of course, never reply. That means it's a no. But if they the good news is if they like your story, like your book, they will reply you within days or even week. So it depends on your story, also your luck. Also, you also have to research the market because different country has different rules for submission and also for author. Because for example some country only some agent from some country only accept author from their country, they don't want the international one. So you have to, that's why you have to go to their website and read it very carefully, and how to do it, make your things some submission, of course. Can talk another day, or you learn it from experience. And the second way is, of course, contacting directly to the publisher. So even here, that as I said, you can get all of them from the country you want to publish. The list, you can get the list of the publisher from the website. There are of course 100,000 of them, but as I said at the beginning, they are also more or less, their requirement is more or less the same as the agent. But and the main point, the most important point is, of course, also you have to go to their website and check their submission guide. Because some of them, some most of the publisher, they don't accept unsolicited submission. So you have to make sure that they accept the uh, submission from unagented or unsolicited submission. So because most of the top big publishers only accept submission from agent, and because so you have to make sure the particular publisher is accepting unsolicited submission. Then the second rule is the same as agent. You strictly follow their guideline, then submit, then wait for the news, because as I said, publishing is a very slow and long process, so you have to be very patient, you have to wait for it, and 3 4 months is nothing. So it take 2 3 years to come a book out, so you have to be very patient. So the s- going through agent and finding directly to a publisher is the requirement is more or less the same. You just have to find that they are accepting the sorry, submission, follow the strict guideline, and provide as much information as they require. That's the one. And third one is may not be appropriate for many, useful for many, but once you are experienced and people know about you, this is quite helpful. The third one is, of course, through contacts. That's why I said connection is the most important thing in any kind of business, whether it's business, manufacturing, trading, or shipping, banking, or publishing, whatever. End of the day, is connection is the most important. So if you know the people, for example, your friend in media, your friend in these companies or big guys, there's a popular, famous guy, and you can ask them whether they know some of the publisher, for example, those people who organize book fairs, seminars, like them, then maybe this guy are more in contact with the publisher, so they know in their circle they have friends. So if you ask them, some of them might help you. So if they recommend you some of the publisher, then you can directly contact them. Then this way it will be a lot easier for you to find a publisher. But of course, your book also has to be good enough, and you also have the basic knowledge, experience, and talent, whatever is a writer. So then you have to follow through them. Then you have to then you might have a chance to get a publisher. So as I said at the beginning, there are three ways, right? The first is through the agent. So only the big publisher, the big publisher accept a submission only through the agent. Second is some of the publishers accept your direct unsolicited submission. And third one is the connection. Maybe you can ask some of your friend has some friend, publisher friend, who can do that. So connection so is also is very important. So to have things, here is a book, it's called writers and artists yearbooks. This published in the UK, where you have all the agent, publisher, and everybody's name, list everything here. Also some guidance and also some suggestion, advice how to do is. So maybe at the beginning, this one is quite helpful. But end of the day, of course, you have to do your own thing, and once you find the thing, then you have to make your own thing and submit accordingly. So um, you can find a right publisher for your book. So as I said at the beginning, there are three ways: go through the agent, directly contact the publisher, and find through your friend. And as I said, of course, finding a publisher is really hard, but the good news is you just need one. From that one, you can build one. All the best. I'll see you next time, and thank you very much.